Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the Rimland theory propounded by Spykman. Okay, the basic argument of Rimland theory was, according to Spykman, who controls the Rimland rules the Eurasia. Who rules Eurasia controls the destinies of the world. Okay. There are some counter argument. Power lies on the periphery. Spykman offered a different interpretation of Eurasian power dynamics, presented in his 1944 book, The Geography of the Peace. He argued that the heartland was not the key to power, but was contained by the surrounding coastal regions, the Rimland. This is the Rimland portion. The Rimland is an intermediate region lying between the heartland and the marginal seas, acting as a vast buffer zone. This is the heartland area. This was the heartland area, according to Mackinder, and this is the buffer zone, and connecting the heartland and surrounding sea regions of the world. It comprises the European coastline and the Arab Middle Eastern desert land and the Asiatic monsoon land. Okay, there is some difference between heartland and Rimland theory. Mackinder's heartland theory, the core idea was control of the vast Eurasian interior is the key to global dominance. And on the other hand, Spykman Rimland's core idea was control of the coastal regions of Eurasia is the key to global dominance. In heartland, vast Eurasian interior, that is land area, land. And in Spykman, control of sea, coastal region. Coastal region. This is sea area, sea region. Okay. In Mackinder's heartland theory, key region was the pivot area or heartland, a continental fortress. And on the other hand, Spykman and Rimland's key region was the inner crescent or Rimland and the amphibious zone. Okay. In Mackinder's heartland theory, power focus on land power, mobility, and across vast plains. Okay, the power is focused mainly on land. And on the other hand, Spykman focuses more on maritime power across access to sea lands. Okay, there are some strategic implications in Mackinder's heartland theory. Block the heartland power, that is Russia, example Russia, from expanding into the periphery. On the other hand, according to Spykman's strategic implication was preventing and single power from consolidating control over the Rimland. Okay, there are some strategic value of the crescent. Crescent means the sea coastline. First of all, abundant resources. The Rimland contains a vast share of the world's resources, including critical oil reserves and minerals. Then dense population. Home to huge populations like India and China, creating massive economic and human resource potential. Then maritime mobility. Its proximity to the ocean creates a maritime circumferential highway for efficient power projection and trade. Then zone of conflict, a dynamic amphibious regions exposed to both land and sea power, making its strategies adapt to at power struggle. Okay, the might of the heartland fortress. Spykman argued Mackinder's overestimated the heartland's strength and ignored its fundamental weakness. Okay, according to Spykman, there are some disadvantages of Mackinder's heartland theory. First of all, geographic barriers. The natural barriers that protect the heartland also block the power from easily invading out of it. Then resource poverty. Spykman viewed the core heartland as resource dormant with a sparse population. Then climatic constants. Extreme climatic conditions limit agricultural and economic potential and productivity. Then lack of fortification, not a true fortress. It is accessible through Central Asian deserts, steppes and river valleys. Okay, from academic thesis to global doctrine, the strategy of containment. Spykman's Rimland theory became the intellectual foundation for US Cold War policy. After World War II, the primary threat was the Soviet Union, a heartland power seeking to dominate the Rimland. Okay, the US adopted a policy of containment articulated by diplomat George Kennan to prevent the spread of Soviet influence into these key strategies. Okay, the US adopted a policy of containment articulated by diplomat George Kennan to prevent the spread of Soviet influence into these key strategic regions. Okay, there are three pillars of Rimland control. Forging alliance with Rimland states, creating a network of friendly powers, NATO, that is North Atlantic Treaty Organization, Japan, etc., to act as a bulwark against Soviet expansion and provide a framework for military and diplomatic cooperation. Then secondly, power projection and military presence, establishing a significant military presence with bases and forces deployed across the Rimland to deter adversaries and support alliance. Then containment of rival, using economic, diplomatic and military tools to actively counter Soviet influence in any part of the Rimland, leading to involvement in numerous regional conflicts. These are 3 pillars or characteristics of Rimland control. Okay, the Rimland in the 21st century, there are some new flashpoints in old geography. For example, Eastern Mediterranean, energy security and NATO's southern flank. Then Persian Gulf, Iranian tensions, energy shock points. Then Indian Oceans, Chinese naval presence and trade route security. In South China Sea, territorial disputes and freedom navigations. Okay, there are some critiques and limitations of the Rimland theory also. First of all, geographic determinism. Rimland theory oversimplifies complex realities by placing too much emphasis on geography, neglecting non-geographical factors like economics, technology, ideology, and culture. Then secondly, over-militarization. Its focus on the balance of military power can overlook the rise of geo-economic coercion and soft power. The theory was conceived before nuclear weapons and complex global supply chains fundamentally changed the natural conflict. The theories call for unsentimental, flexible alliance, no eternal alliance, no perceptual enemies, often clashes with the value-based, dualistic worldview common in democratic foreign policy debates. Okay, Spykman's ultimate contribution was to create a new ideological touchstone for an interconnected world. Okay, while technologies evolve and alliance shift, his central insight endures a state's foreign policy must reckon with geographic facts. In the 21st century, powers cannot afford to be an island into themselves. They must actively shape the global order or risk being shaped by it. Okay, according to Spykman, geography does not argue, it simply is. That's all for today. Thank you.